On today's episode of the Movie Vlog, it's halfway through the year, so we're going to talk about the best movies of 2017 so far, the brand new trailer for Jumanji that dropped, and that great looking little film, Battle of the Sexes with Steve Carell and Emma Stone, puts out a brand new poster. We're going to talk about that stuff and a couple things more. Let's get started. Well, greetings and salutations, guys. I'm John Campea, and welcome to the Movie Vlog, the show where I basically talk about random things going on in the world of movies, plus the movie news of the day with my random thoughts sprinkled in there. Now, since it's the end of June, we are now pretty much officially halfway through 2017. And I've been getting a lot of people tweeting me and following me on Facebook. And by the way, if you're not following me on social media, you can do so by just following me at John Campea on Twitter or Facebook. And a lot of you guys have been asking me the question, so what are the best movies of the year so far, according to you, because we all have different lists. Now, it's dangerous to put lists together because all film is subjective, and therefore everybody's going to disagree with your list no matter what your list is, but that's the fun part. That's what gets conversation going. So, I want to tell you what I think are the best films of 2017 so far. I'm going to do it this way. First, I'm going to name 5 honorable mentions in no particular order, okay? So 5 honorable mentions, and then I'm going to give you my top 5 of the year so far. All right, so let's get things started with my 5 honorable mentions. Remember, these are in no particular order. And we're going to start off the honorable mentions with Get Out, the directorial debut of Jordan Peele from Key and Peele fame, a low-budget indie horror film with a first-time director. A lot of little asterisks here, but this was a solid, entertaining movie and one you got to check out. Next up on our honorable mentions list, The Lost City of Z. Absolutely, without question to me, the best performance that actor Charlie Hunnam has ever given, and he needed a little bit of a boost after the disaster that King Arthur was, even though I like King Arthur, but it was a total bomb, so having The Lost City of Z is a nice little thing to put on his resume. Look, the story of an English explorer trying to prove a very criticized theory, if you will, is inspiring. It's moving, really strong performances. Robert Pattinson's actually pretty damn good in it. So check out The Lost City of Z once you get a chance. Next up, The Shamhammer is back with Split. M. Night gives us a really compelling, fun film with an incredible twist ending. I know, imagine that. The Shamhammer gives us a twist ending. But this is a great twist ending that everybody's buzzing about at this point. James McAvoy gives a performance that might be even Oscar buzzworthy, maybe not a win, but at the very least a nomination for all the different types of personalities he played in the film. Make sure you check out Split. Next up on the honorable mentions list, the Lego Batman movie. I wasn't quite sure how much of a drop-off we would get from the Lego movie because, Batman was a great side character, an accent character, if you will, in the Lego movie. I didn't know if he could carry his own film, and boy did he ever. Now, I still prefer the Lego movie a little bit over the Lego Batman movie, but the Lego Batman delivered laughs and entertainment that appealed to both kids, but an awful lot of jokes there that you've got to be like 30 or older to even get the references. It's a very well-rounded, entertaining film. The Lego Batman film makes it onto our honorable mentions list. And the final movie to make it onto our honorable mentions of 2017 list so far is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, I do believe that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was a significant step down from the brilliance of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but still, there's enough entertainment and fun and adventure and that great dialogue between the characters that we came to love from the first one. It was a worthwhile movie. So, while it's not the best movie of the year, it doesn't make it into our top 5, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 does make it onto my honorable mentions list. Alright, now let's move on to what I call the top 5 movies of 2017 so far. I'm gonna let you know right now, Get Out came really close to being in the 5 position, but the number 5 spot instead goes to Wonder Woman. What a breath of fresh air and something that the DC Cinematic Universe really needed. Director Patty Jenkins delivers a wonderful origin story, isolating the story in time back in World War I, delivering a great origin story, setting up a really cool mythology, and giving us a hero to look forward to in Justice League. My number 4 best movie of the year so far is War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, I know a lot of you guys haven't had a chance to see it yet, but my review is up on my YouTube channel. You can go and check it out there. Not as good as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but truly a worthy 3rd installment of this franchise. I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this one. Coming in at number 3, another film a lot of you haven't had a chance to see yet, but is Spider-Man Homecoming. A lot of people were wondering, how is this Marvel and Sony marriage going to work? We heard about the two companies struggling about which direction to take the movie. We heard they compromised right in the middle of where each of them wanted to be, and the result was a wonderful movie. The movie spares us another origin story and just dives right into it. It's a terrific movie. Just had a chance to see it the other night. Spider-Man Homecoming is my number 3 best movie of the year so far. All right, now we get to the cream of the crop. We're getting to the number 2 best movie of the year so far, and I'm going to say it's Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. Look, it's an Edgar Wright film. We were expecting this movie to be pretty good, but even I wasn't anticipating it being this good. The soundtrack is amazing. The soundtrack of the film actually becomes the pulse, the heartbeat, if you will, for the story and the movie. And it's not just a great soundtrack like a lot of other movies will just pick a lot of great famous songs and throw them in there. There's a lot of songs in this movie that you may not recognize at all, but they're perfect for the film and they fit right in. Absolutely incredible. Great characters, great wit, frantic timing and pacing. It's incredible. Make sure you check out Baby Driver. Okay, and it'll come as no surprise to a lot of you who've been following me for a while, but the number 1 film of the year so far, to me, by far, is the Fox film Logan. They didn't just deliver a great comic book movie. This was almost more of a Western because this movie has more in common with Unforgiven than it does for any X-Men film. It's truly a character study, getting far deeper into the characters of Logan and Professor X. And I'm going to go out on the limb and say this is the best performance that Hugh Jackman has ever given us in any X-Men film. And by far, it's the best performance I think Patrick Stewart may have ever given in his illustrious career. Logan, to me, is the number 1 film of the year so far. All right, now, of course, the important thing is, obviously, many of you, your list will look radically different than mine, or maybe just a little bit different than mine. Jump into the comments section and tell me, what are your 5 honorable mentions and your top 5 films of 2017 so far? Now, the other thing I want to talk about here today is earlier this morning, the first official trailer for Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, dropped. Now, this film stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black. It's a pseudo-sequel to the original, some would say classic Robin Williams film, but set in the modern day. 4 high school students in detention discover an old video game, and when they turn it on, they get transmitted into the game itself and are now fighting for their own survival in the game Jumanji, embodying the physical avatars of the characters that they chose. I've kind of been looking forward to this movie. It sounds like a really cool adventure, but I didn't love the trailer. To be honest with you, the trailer kind of turned me off a little bit and lowered my expectations of the movie. I get it, you got the high school pretty girl. Oh, I'm here for being too pretty, blah, blah. And oh, look, they're playing, the ugly chick, with Rob Schneider. They're doing that where she's now in the body of Jack Black. Oh, never seen that before. And it just nothing about it felt fun. And if you're going to do a Jumanji thing, you want to feel that fun. And the whole premise you set up where they're transferred into the game itself and they're living in their physical avatars in this jungle. I mean, there's a lot of cool things you could do there, but none of that got communicated to me. I didn't smile. I didn't giggle once because it's also supposed to be a comedy. So I've seen lots of very good movies with rough first trailers, but that is the situation we have here. I wasn't really all that thrilled with the first trailer for Jumanji. Hopefully the next one will bring the expectation levels back up. And the final thing I want to talk about here is a movie I'm really looking forward to. It's called Battle of the Sexes with Steve Carell and Emma Stone. And it's about a true story that happened in the 70s when the, at the time, #1 world's female tennis player, Billie Jean King, being played by Emma Stone, gets challenged to a match by a former champion, Bobby Riggs, who has been out of the game for a bit, and now he's trying to get back in the limelight again, and it really becomes a battle of the sexes. Now, the movie promises to explore a lot more, like into the struggling sexuality of Billie Jean King at the time, a lot of the personal issues of Riggs as well, and it just looks fantastic. And when you're talking about two performers like Stone and Steve Carell, and it's got that type of a source material for it, I'm looking forward to big things. Now, a trailer for it has already dropped a little while ago, and I thought the trailer looked fantastic. And this poster to me, this new poster that just dropped, is wonderful. It's stylized. It feels like it's right out of the era. And I feel like in one frame, because I say this a lot, in one frame, it captures the spirit of the movie. And I love it when posters do that. When posters kind of communicate the soul of a movie in just one quick picture. And I feel like this poster does that, so I'm really kind of excited about it. I like it a lot. All right, guys, that'll do it for today's installment of the Movie Blog. Thanks a lot for joining me. Hey, make sure you jump into the comments section. Again, let me know what your top films of the year are so far. What did you think of the Jumanji trailer? And what do you think of this Battle of the Sexes poster? And are you looking forward to the movie? Once again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter, just at John Campea. I'll be back again tomorrow. And guys, one more quick thing. Don't forget to use the app Share the Meal. It's an app I've been using for a while. I tell you guys about it once in a while. It's super easy and convenient. You just quickly hop on the app, tap Share the Meal, and with a couple of bucks, you've just fed a kid for a week. Go to your iOS or Android app store and check out Share the Meal. Look into it. I think you'll be really impressed with it. If you do, give it a shot and make a difference in the world today. That'll do it for me, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow, and until then, bye-bye.